Question 1. What year did the Roman invasion of Britain occur? A. 43 AD. B. 1066 AD. C. 1215 AD. D. 1453 AD. Answer: A. 43 AD. The Roman invasion of Britain began in 43 AD under Emperor Claudius. Question 2. Which monarch established the Church of England? A. King Henry VIII. B. Queen Elizabeth I. C. King James I. D. Queen Victoria. Answer: A. King Henry VIII. He established the Church of England in 1534. Question 3. What was the primary reason for the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Economic disagreements. B. Religious differences. C. Power struggle between the monarchy and Parliament. D. Foreign invasion. Answer: C. Power struggle between the monarchy and Parliament. The English Civil War was primarily caused by a power struggle between King Charles I and Parliament. Question 4. Who was the British Prime Minister during the signing of the Treaty of Versailles? A. Winston Churchill. B. David Lloyd George. C. Neville Chamberlain. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer: B. David Lloyd George. He was the Prime Minister during the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. Question 5. What is the significance of the Magna Carta in British constitutional history? A. It ended the English Civil War. B. It provided the first written constitution. C. It limited the powers of the king and established the rule of law. D. It declared independence from France. Answer: C. It limited the powers of the king and established the rule of law. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, is a cornerstone of British constitutional law. Question 6. Name the battle in 1314 where Robert the Bruce defeated the English forces. A. Battle of Agincourt. B. Battle of Hastings. C. Battle of Bannockburn. D. Battle of Yorktown. Answer: C. Battle of Bannockburn. Robert the Bruce defeated the English forces in 1314 at this battle. Question 7. Who was the first female Prime Minister of Britain? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Elizabeth I. C. Mary I. D. Theresa May. Answer: A. Margaret Thatcher. She became the first female Prime Minister of Britain in 1979. Question 8. What agreement ended the conflict between England and Scotland in 1707? A. The Treaty of Edinburgh. B. The Act of Settlement. C. The Act of Union. D. The Treaty of Versailles. Answer: C. The Act of Union. This agreement in 1707 ended the conflict by uniting England and Scotland into a single kingdom. Question 9. In what year did the Great Fire of London take place? A. 1066. B. 1348. C. 1666. D. 1756. Answer: C. 1666. The Great Fire of London occurred in 1666 and devastated much of the city. Question 10. What was the main outcome of the Glorious Revolution of 1688? A. Establishment of parliamentary democracy. B. Restoration of the monarchy. C. The beginning of the Industrial Revolution. D. The abolition of the monarchy. Answer: A. Establishment of parliamentary democracy. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 established parliamentary democracy by affirming the power of Parliament over the monarchy. Question 11. What did the Act of Union 1707 achieve? A. It merged the Scottish and English parliaments. B. It declared war on France. C. It established the Church of England. D. It ended the War of Spanish Succession. Answer. A. It merged the Scottish and English parliaments. The Act of Union 1707 unified the parliaments and kingdoms of England and Scotland. Question 12. Who was the British monarch during the American War of Independence? A. King George III. B. King Edward VII. C. Queen Anne. D. King Henry VIII. Answer. A. King George III. He was the monarch during the American War of Independence, which lasted from 1775 to 1783. Question 13. Which treaty recognized the independence of the American colonies from Britain? A. Treaty of Paris. B. Treaty of Versailles. C. Treaty of Westminster. D. Treaty of London. Answer. A. Treaty of Paris. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 recognized the independence of the American colonies. Question 14. What was the Reform Act of 1832, and why was it significant? A. It granted the vote to all men and women over the age of 21. B. It abolished the slave trade. C. It reformed the British electoral system to increase the number of voters. D. It established the National Health Service. Answer. C. It reformed the British electoral system to increase the number of voters. The Reform Act of 1832 widened the voter base and addressed many inequities in the electoral system. Question 15. Who led the British forces at the Battle of Waterloo? A. Duke of Wellington. B. Oliver Cromwell. C. Horatio Nelson. D. King George III. Answer. A. Duke of Wellington. The Duke of Wellington led the British forces to victory at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Question 16. What were the Corn Laws and why were they controversial? A. They were laws enforcing religious uniformity. B. They were trade laws imposing tariffs on imported grain. C. They mandated military service for all men. D. They abolished the use of the Welsh language. Answer. B. They were trade laws imposing tariffs on imported grain. The Corn Laws were controversial because they kept grain prices high to benefit domestic producers, but at the cost of higher food prices. Question 17. What significant event did the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 accomplish? A. It granted voting rights to all males. B. It ended the practice of slavery throughout the British Empire. C. It established the Church of England. D. It began the Industrial Revolution. Answer. B. It ended the practice of slavery throughout the British Empire. The Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 marked a significant milestone in ending slavery. Question 18. What major public health issue did the Great Stink of 1858 address? A. The need for clean drinking water. B. The problems caused by open sewage in the Thames. C. The spread of the plague. D. Air pollution in industrial cities. Answer. B. The problems caused by open sewage in the Thames. The Great Stink of 1858 led to significant improvements in London's sewage system. Question 19. Who wrote the influential book On the Origin of Species? A. Isaac Newton. B. Charles Darwin. C. Albert Einstein. D. Stephen Hawking. Answer: B. Charles Darwin. He wrote On the Origin of Species, which introduced the theory of natural selection. Question 20. What was the main purpose of the British Empire Exhibition of 1924? A. To celebrate the end of World War I. B. To boost trade and strengthen relationships within the British Empire. C. To introduce the British pound. D. To mark the coronation of King George V. Answer: B. To boost trade and strengthen relationships within the British Empire. The British Empire Exhibition of 1924 was held to promote industry and trade within the empire. Question 21. Which British scientist is credited with developing the theory of electromagnetism? A. Isaac Newton. B. Charles Darwin. C. James Clerk Maxwell. D. Stephen Hawking. Answer: C. James Clerk Maxwell. He developed the theory of electromagnetism in the 19th century, significantly advancing the field of physics. Question 22. What event in 1969 led to the deployment of British troops to Northern Ireland? A. The Easter Rising. B. The Belfast Agreement. C. The Good Friday Agreement. D. The Battle of the Bogside. Answer: D. The Battle of the Bogside. This event in 1969 was part of the larger conflict known as the Troubles, leading to the deployment of British troops. Question 23. What are the provisions of the Good Friday Agreement? A. Establishment of a shared power government in Northern Ireland. B. Independence of Northern Ireland from the UK. C. Complete disarmament of all political groups. D. Integration of Northern Ireland into the Republic of Ireland. Answer: A. Establishment of a shared power government in Northern Ireland. The Good Friday Agreement in 1998 was aimed at bringing an end to the conflict and establishing a cooperative government. Question 24. In what year did women over the age of 30 gain the right to vote in Britain? A. 1920. B. 1918. C. 1945. D. 1963. Answer: B. 1918. Women over the age of 30 gained the right to vote in 1918, following significant efforts by suffragette movements. Question 25. What British naval victory in 1805 asserted naval dominance over the French? A. Battle of Trafalgar. B. Battle of Waterloo. C. Battle of the Somme. D. Battle of Dunkirk. Answer: A. Battle of Trafalgar. This pivotal naval victory in 1805 under Admiral Nelson confirmed British naval dominance over the French. Question 26. Which Act passed in 1911 altered the power dynamic between the House of Lords and the House of Commons? A. The Parliament Act. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Great Reform Act. D. The Royal Assent Act. Answer: A. The Parliament Act. Passed in 1911, it limited the power of the House of Lords, enhancing the legislative supremacy of the House of Commons. Question 27. Who was the last British monarch of the House of Hanover? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. King Edward VII. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. She was the last monarch of the House of Hanover, as her son, Edward VII, belonged to the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. Question 28. What was the primary objective of the Chartists? A. To gain religious freedoms. B. To reform the agricultural system. C. To secure universal male suffrage. D. To abolish the monarchy. Answer: C. To secure universal male suffrage. The Chartists were a working-class movement in the 19th century focused on political reforms, including voting rights for all men. Question 29. What treaty concluded the Crimean War? A. Treaty of Paris. B. Treaty of Versailles. C. Treaty of Nystad. D. Treaty of Berlin. Answer: A. Treaty of Paris. The 1856 Treaty of Paris ended the Crimean War, which had involved the Ottoman Empire, France, Britain, and Sardinia against Russia. Question 30. Who was the British monarch when India gained independence? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. King George VI. C. King Edward VIII. D. Queen Victoria. Answer: B. King George VI. India gained independence in 1947 during the reign of King George VI. Question 31. Describe the significance of the Battle of Britain in 1940. A. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. B. It marked the beginning of British involvement in World War II. C. It was a naval battle that confirmed British naval superiority. D. It led to the immediate end of World War II. Answer: A. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. The Battle of Britain in 1940 was crucial in preventing a German invasion. Question 32. What was the main economic change implemented by Margaret Thatcher's government in the 1980s? A. Introduction of the euro. B. Nationalization of key industries. C. Privatization of state-owned enterprises. D. Implementation of agricultural subsidies. Answer: C. Privatization of state-owned enterprises. One of the hallmark policies of Margaret Thatcher's government was the privatization of numerous state-owned industries. Question 33. What scandal led to the resignation of a British Prime Minister in the 20th century? A. The Zinoviev letter. B. The Suez crisis. C. The Profumo affair. D. The Falklands War. Answer: C. The Profumo affair. This scandal in 1963, involving Secretary of State for War John Profumo, ultimately led to the resignation of Prime Minister Harold Macmillan. Question 34. What event in 1956 marked the decline of British imperial power? A. The independence of India. B. The Suez crisis. C. The establishment of the Commonwealth. D. The Falklands War. Answer: B. The Suez crisis. The crisis and its mishandling marked a significant moment in the decline of Britain as a global imperial power. Question 35. Who was the first Briton to win a Nobel Prize, and in what category? A. Alexander Fleming, Medicine. B. Ernest Rutherford, Chemistry. C. Winston Churchill, Literature. D. Ronald Ross, Physiology or Medicine. Answer: D. Ronald Ross, Physiology or Medicine. He won in 1902 for his work on the transmission of malaria. Question 36. What was the purpose of the Beveridge Report? A. To outline reforms for post-war economic recovery. B. To propose the creation of the National Health Service. C. To address issues of poverty and social security. D. To reform the British education system. Answer: C. To address issues of poverty and social security. The Beveridge Report, published during World War II, laid the foundations for the modern British welfare state. Question 37. Name the British king associated with the divine right of kings. A. Henry VIII. B. James I. C. Charles I. D. Edward I. Answer: B. James I. He was a strong proponent of the divine right of kings, which held that monarchs were appointed by and answerable only to God. Question 38. Which British scientist discovered penicillin, and in what year? A. Alexander Fleming, 1928. B. Isaac Newton, 1704. C. Charles Darwin, 1831. D. Michael Faraday, 1832. Answer: A. Alexander Fleming, 1928. Fleming discovered penicillin by accident, marking a major breakthrough in medical science. Question 39. What was the significance of the Battle of the Somme in World War I? A. It was a decisive victory that led to the end of the war. B. It marked the first use of tanks on a battlefield. C. It was one of the bloodiest battles of the war, with over 1 million casualties. D. It resulted in a significant territorial gain for the Allies. Answer: C. It was one of the bloodiest battles of the war, with over 1 million casualties. The Battle of the Somme is remembered for its horrific death toll and limited strategic success. Question 40. What is the principle of habeas corpus in British law? A. The right to bear arms. B. The right to a trial by jury. C. The right to be free from unlawful detention. D. The right to vote. Answer: C. The right to be free from unlawful detention. Habeas corpus is a legal principle that protects individuals from being held without just cause. Question 41. Who was the British ruler during the Spanish Armada invasion? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King James I. C. Queen Victoria. D. King Henry VIII. Answer: A. Queen Elizabeth I. She was the monarch during the Spanish Armada invasion by Spain in 1588. Question 42. What treaty established the European Economic Community, which Britain later joined? A. Treaty of Lisbon. B. Treaty of Rome. C. Maastricht Treaty. D. Treaty of Versailles. Answer: B. Treaty of Rome. The Treaty of Rome established the European Economic Community in 1957, which Britain joined later. Question 43. In what year did the UK officially join the European Economic Community? A. 1963. B. 1973. C. 1985. D. 1993. Answer: B. 1973. The UK officially joined the European Economic Community in 1973. Question 44. What was the purpose of the Marshall Plan, and how did it affect Britain? A. To rebuild European economies after World War II, significantly aiding British recovery. B. To establish NATO. C. To promote US cultural influence in Europe. D. To end the British Empire. Answer: A. To rebuild European economies after World War II, significantly aiding British recovery. The Marshall Plan was crucial for post-war reconstruction. Question 45. What pivotal role did Britain play in the formation of the United Nations? A. It was the primary financier. B. It hosted the initial meetings. C. It was one of the founding members. D. It proposed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Answer: C. It was one of the founding members. Britain played a significant role as one of the founding members of the United Nations in 1945. Question 46. Who was the Iron Lady of British politics? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Theresa May. D. Angela Merkel. Answer. B. Margaret Thatcher. She was known as the Iron Lady for her strong and uncompromising leadership style as Prime Minister. Question 47. What British Act in 1998 devolved power to Scotland? A. Scotland Act. B. Acts of Union. C. Magna Carta. D. Devolution Act. Answer. A. Scotland Act. The Scotland Act of 1998 devolved significant legislative powers to the newly established Scottish Parliament. Question 48. What was Operation Dynamo during World War II? A. The bombing of Dresden. B. The D-Day landings. C. The evacuation of British and Allied forces from Dunkirk. D. The Battle of Britain. Answer. C. The evacuation of British and Allied forces from Dunkirk, known as Operation Dynamo. This 1940 operation successfully evacuated over 330,000 soldiers. Question 49. Who succeeded Queen Victoria on the British throne? A. King Edward VII. B. King George V. C. King Edward VIII. D. Queen Elizabeth II. Answer. A. King Edward VII. He succeeded Queen Victoria following her death in 1901. Question 50. What major health crisis affected Britain in the early 2000s? A. Swine flu pandemic. B. BSE, mad cow disease, crisis. C. COVID-19 pandemic. D. SARS outbreak. Answer. B. BSE, mad cow disease, crisis. The crisis peaked in the late 1990s and had significant repercussions into the early 2000s. Question 51. What economic event is referred to as Black Wednesday, and what year did it occur? A. The stock market crash of 1987. B. The pound sterling was forced out of the European exchange rate mechanism in 1992. C. The global financial crisis of 2008. D. Brexit referendum in 2016. Answer. B. The pound sterling was forced out of the European exchange rate mechanism in 1992. This event, occurring on September 16, 1992, is known as Black Wednesday. Question 52. What was the main provision of the Human Rights Act 1998? A. It established the right to a fair trial. B. It incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into British law. C. It abolished the death penalty in the UK. D. It provided universal suffrage. Answer. B. It incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into British law. This act made it easier for UK citizens to access human rights protections. Question 53. Name the battle in 1746 that was the last hand-to-hand battle fought on British soil. A. Battle of Waterloo. B. Battle of Hastings. C. Battle of Culloden. D. Battle of Agincourt. Answer. C. Battle of Culloden. This battle in 1746 was the last pitched battle held on British soil, marking the end of the Jacobite Rising. Question 54. What was the primary cause of the English Reformation in the 16th century? A. Economic reforms. B. Disputes over land. C. King Henry VIII's desire for an annulment. D. Invasion by foreign powers. Answer. C. King Henry VIII's desire for an annulment. His desire to divorce Catherine of Aragon and remarry was a key driver for the Reformation. Question 55. Who were the suffragettes and what did they achieve? A. A political party that introduced social reforms. B. Women activists who successfully fought for women's right to vote. C. A group that opposed the education reform. D. Activists who fought against the abolition of the monarchy. Answer. B. Women activists who successfully fought for women's right to vote. The suffragettes were instrumental in securing voting rights for women in the UK. Question 56. What is the significance of the Windrush generation to British history? A. They were key figures in the Industrial Revolution. B. They were soldiers from the American Revolution. C. They were post-World War II immigrants from the Caribbean. D. They were explorers during the Elizabethan era. Answer. C. They were post-World War II immigrants from the Caribbean. The Windrush generation significantly contributed to British society and culture after arriving on the ship MV Empire Windrush in 1948. Question 57. What year did the UK vote to leave the European Union? A. 2000. B. 2016. C. 2012. D. 1999. Answer. B. 2016. The UK voted to leave the European Union in a referendum held on June 23, 2016. Question 58. Who discovered the structure of DNA, and what was their connection to the UK? A. Albert Einstein, no direct connection. B. Francis Crick and James Watson worked at Cambridge University. C. Marie Curie worked in Manchester. D. Rosalind Franklin studied at King's College London. Answer. B. Francis Crick and James Watson worked at Cambridge University. They, along with Rosalind Franklin, played crucial roles in discovering the structure of DNA. Question 59. What British law ended capital punishment for murder in 1965? A. The Capital Punishment Act. B. The Murder, Abolition of Death Penalty Act. C. The Human Rights Act. D. The Criminal Justice Act. Answer. B. The Murder, Abolition of Death Penalty Act. This act suspended and effectively abolished capital punishment for murder in the UK. Question 60. Who was the British monarch during the Victorian era? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. Queen Victoria. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. King Edward VII. Answer. B. Queen Victoria. The Victorian era is named after her and is known for its significant cultural, industrial, political, scientific and military changes in the UK. Question 61. What event marked the beginning of the British Industrial Revolution? A. The invention of the steam engine by James Watt. B. The opening of the first public railway. C. The construction of the first cotton mill. D. The discovery of coal in Newcastle. Answer. A. The invention of the steam engine by James Watt. This innovation greatly enhanced productivity and marked the onset of the Industrial Revolution. Question 62. What was the main impact of the Enclosure Acts in Britain? A. They promoted free trade. B. They increased the rights of tenant farmers. C. They consolidated land and increased agricultural efficiency. D. They decreased the power of the aristocracy. Answer. C. They consolidated land and increased agricultural efficiency. The Enclosure Acts allowed for greater consolidation of land, leading to improved agricultural productivity but also social displacement. Question 63. Who was known as the Lady with the Lamp during the Crimean War? A. Queen Victoria. B. Florence Nightingale. C. Mary Seacole. D. Elizabeth Fry. Answer: B. Florence Nightingale. She earned the nickname Lady with the Lamp for her nighttime rounds to aid wounded soldiers, fundamentally changing nursing practices. Question 64. What was the primary goal of the British North America Act? A. To declare war on the United States. B. To establish the Canadian Confederation. C. To annex new territories in Africa. D. To reform British colonial policies. Answer: B. To establish the Canadian Confederation. The British North America Act of 1867 united 3 colonies into the Dominion of Canada, a key step in Canada's path to independence. Question 65. What significant educational reform occurred in Britain in 1944? A. The introduction of the modern school system. B. The foundation of the national curriculum. C. The establishment of compulsory education until age 15. D. The expansion of higher education. Answer: C. The establishment of compulsory education until age 15. The Education Act of 1944, also known as the Butler Act, made secondary education compulsory up to the age of 15 and restructured the educational system. Question 66. Which British explorer is credited with the founding of the British East India Company? A. James Cook. B. Francis Drake. C. John Smith. D. Sir Thomas Roe. Answer: B. Francis Drake. Although primarily known for his circumnavigation of the globe, Drake was also instrumental in the early English efforts that led to the founding of the British East India Company. Question 67. What was the purpose of the Falklands War, and what year did it take place? A. To defend British territories against Argentine invasion, 1982. B. To claim new territories in the South Atlantic, 1956. C. To support Allies during the Cold War, 1971. D. To expand British fishing rights, 1990. Answer: A. To defend British territories against Argentine invasion, 1982. The Falklands War was fought to regain control of the Falkland Islands after an Argentine invasion. Question 68. Who were the main contenders in the Battle of Hastings, and what was the outcome? A. Harold II and William the Conqueror. William won and became king. B. Richard III and Henry Tudor. Henry won and started the Tudor dynasty. C. Edward I and Robert the Bruce. Robert secured Scottish independence. D. Charles I and Oliver Cromwell. Cromwell won and led the Commonwealth. Answer: A. Harold II and William the Conqueror. William won and became king. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 was pivotal in Norman conquest of England. Question 69. What significant legal document did King John sign in 1215? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Royal Charter. D. The Act of Union. Answer: B. The Magna Carta. Signed by King John in 1215, it limited royal authority and laid the foundation for modern constitutional governance. Question 70. Describe the impact of the Black Death on medieval England. A. It led to a major economic boom. B. It caused significant population decline and social upheavals. C. It initiated the English Renaissance. D. It strengthened the power of the monarchy. Answer: B. It caused significant population decline and social upheavals. The Black Death dramatically reduced the population, leading to labor shortages and significant social changes. Question 71. What was the primary outcome of the Congress of Vienna for Britain? A. It lost significant overseas territories. B. It gained control of key strategic locations like Malta and the Cape Colony. C. It entered into a long period of war with France. D. It was isolated from European affairs. Answer: B. It gained control of key strategic locations like Malta and the Cape Colony. The Congress of Vienna in 1815 enhanced Britain's strategic global position. Question 72. Who was the Prime Minister of Britain during the Suez Crisis? A. Winston Churchill. B. Harold Macmillan. C. Anthony Eden. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer: C. Anthony Eden. He was Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis in 1956, which damaged his reputation and led to his resignation. Question 73. What significant change did the Representation of the People Act 1918 bring about in British society? A. It abolished the monarchy. B. It extended the vote to women over 30 and all men over 21. C. It segregated voters by gender. D. It decreased voting rights for the working class. Answer: B. It extended the vote to women over 30 and all men over 21. This act significantly expanded the electorate in the aftermath of World War I. Question 74. What are the key features of the welfare state established post-World War II in the UK? A. Emphasis on privatization. B. Focus on military expansion. C. Implementation of comprehensive public health, education, and welfare systems. D. Reduction in public spending. Answer: C. Implementation of comprehensive public health, education, and welfare systems. The post-war welfare state aimed to provide security from cradle to grave. Question 75. What treaty ended the First Anglo-Boer War, and what were its terms? A. Treaty of Versailles. It required reparations from the Boers. B. Treaty of Pretoria. It recognized Boer autonomy in the Transvaal. C. Treaty of Paris. It ended all colonial conflicts in Africa. D. Treaty of London. It divided South Africa into British and Dutch regions. Answer: B. Treaty of Pretoria. It recognized Boer autonomy in the Transvaal. This 1881 treaty ended the First Anglo-Boer War, acknowledging limited self-governance under British oversight. Question 76. What historical event is Guy Fawkes' Night based on? A. The restoration of the monarchy. B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. C. The signing of the Magna Carta. D. The Battle of Britain. Answer: B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes' Night commemorates the failed attempt by Guy Fawkes and others to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 77. Who was the first British astronaut to go into space, and in what year? A. Tim Peake, 2015. B. Helen Sharman, 1991. C. Michael Foale, 1997. D. Piers Sellers, 2002. Answer: B. Helen Sharman, 1991. Helen Sharman was the first British astronaut to go into space, participating in a mission to the Mir space station. Question 78. What is the Beveridge Report, And why is it significant in British social history? A. A document that detailed the rights of the monarchy. B. A report that outlined the foundations for the modern welfare state. C. A military strategy plan from World War II. D. A financial report on the effects of the Industrial Revolution. Answer: B. A report that outlined the foundations for the modern welfare state. The Beveridge Report, published in 1942, proposed widespread reforms to address social welfare issues. Question 79. What is the significance of the Stone of Scone, and where is it located now? A. It's a symbol of Scottish monarchy, now in Edinburgh Castle. B. It's a relic of the British Empire, located in the Tower of London. C. It's a medieval artifact, now housed in the British Museum. D. It's a Viking artifact, located in Norway. Answer: A. It's a symbol of Scottish monarchy, now in Edinburgh Castle. The Stone of Scone, used in the coronation of Scottish monarchs, was returned to Scotland in 1996 after being kept in England for centuries. Question 80. How did the Great Reform Act of 1832 change the British electoral system? A. It introduced universal suffrage. B. It abolished the electoral system. C. It expanded the electorate and reformed electoral districts. D. It limited voting rights to landowners. Answer: C. It expanded the electorate and reformed electoral districts. The Great Reform Act of 1832 made significant changes to the electoral system, addressing widespread calls for reform. Question 81. What role did Britain play in the Treaty of Tordesillas? A. It was a mediator between Spain and Portugal. B. It was excluded and did not participate. C. It claimed territories in the New World. D. It supported Portugal against Spain. Answer: B. It was excluded and did not participate. The Treaty of Tordesillas was negotiated between Spain and Portugal under the auspices of the Pope in 1494 to divide new lands discovered outside Europe.
Question 82. Who was the British monarch during the Union of the Crowns? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King James VI of Scotland and James I of England. C. King Charles I. D. King Henry VIII. Answer: B. King James VI of Scotland and James I of England. He became the monarch of both countries in 1603, leading to the Union of the Crowns.
Question 83. What was the main reason for the establishment of the Bank of England? A. To fund military campaigns. B. To manage the national debt. C. To regulate the issuance of money. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. Established in 1694, the Bank of England's initial purpose was to raise money for the war against France, manage the national debt, and regulate the currency. Question 84. Which British monarch officially abolished the slave trade, and in what year? A. Queen Victoria in 1833. B. King George III in 1807. C. King Edward VII in 1901. D. Queen Elizabeth I in 1562. Answer: B. King George III in 1807. The slave trade was officially abolished in the British Empire during his reign with the passage of the Slave Trade Act 1807. Question 85. Describe the British involvement in the Opium Wars. A. Britain fought against France to control opium trade. B. Britain opposed China to force legalization of the opium trade. C. Britain allied with Japan to distribute opium. D. Britain fought against Russia over opium routes. Answer: B. Britain opposed China to force legalization of the opium trade. The Opium Wars in the mid-19th century were fought between Britain and China to enforce trade rights, including the trade of opium. Question 86. What was the Winter of Discontent, and what were its consequences? A. A period of extreme weather in 1947 that led to crop failures. B. The public and political reaction to widespread strikes by public sector workers in 1978–79, leading to significant changes in labour laws. C. Economic sanctions against Britain in the 1980s. D. A literary movement in the early 20th century. Answer. B. The public and political reaction to widespread strikes by public sector workers in 1978–79, leading to significant changes in labour laws and the rise of Margaret Thatcher. Question 87. Who was involved in the signing of the Anglo-Irish Treaty, and what did it establish? A. Winston Churchill and Franklin Roosevelt. It established trade agreements. B. Michael Collins and Arthur Griffith. It established the Irish Free State. C. Queen Elizabeth I and Mary Queen of Scots. It ended conflicts between England and Ireland. D. Tony Blair and George Mitchell. It established peace in Northern Ireland. Answer. B. Michael Collins and Arthur Griffith. It established the Irish Free State. Signed in 1921, the Anglo-Irish Treaty ended the Irish War of Independence and established the Irish Free State. Question 88. What significant technological achievement is associated with Tim Berners-Lee? A. Inventing the World Wide Web. B. Developing the steam engine. C. Creating the first public railway. D. Pioneering wireless communication. Answer. A. Inventing the World Wide Web. Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web in 1989, revolutionizing information sharing and communication globally. Question 89. What was the main purpose of the British Nationality Act 1948? A. To restrict immigration to Britain. B. To define British citizenship and status of nationals from British colonies and Commonwealth countries. C. To establish the Commonwealth. D. To abolish the monarchy. Answer. B. To define British citizenship and status of nationals from British colonies and Commonwealth countries. This act was pivotal in shaping post-war immigration and citizenship laws. Question 90. Which British monarch faced the abdication crisis, and what was the outcome? A. King Edward VIII. He abdicated to marry Wallis Simpson. B. Queen Elizabeth II. She resolved the crisis by reforming the succession laws. C. King George VI. He abdicated due to health issues. D. King Henry VIII. He created the Church of England. Answer. A. King Edward VIII. He abdicated to marry Wallis Simpson. His abdication in 1936 was a major constitutional crisis of the time. Question 91. What historical significance does the Battle of Agincourt hold? A. It was a crushing defeat for British forces. B. It marked the beginning of the British Empire. C. It was a major English victory in the 100 Years' War. D. It led to the signing of the Magna Carta. Answer. C. It was a major English victory in the 100 Years' War. The Battle of Agincourt in 1415 is famed for the use of the English longbow, which helped achieve a significant victory against France. Question 92. Describe the role of Britain in the creation of Israel. A. Britain opposed the creation of Israel. B. Britain facilitated Jewish immigration to Palestine under the Balfour Declaration. C. Britain sold arms to Arab nations to prevent Israel's creation. D. Britain mediated peace talks between Arab nations and Israel. Answer: B. Britain facilitated Jewish immigration to Palestine under the Balfour Declaration. The 1917 declaration supported the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, then under British control. Question 93. What was the impact of the plague of Justinian on Britain? A. It led to significant population growth. B. It had no impact as it did not reach Britain. C. It caused significant population decline in the 6th century. D. It resulted in economic prosperity. Answer: C. It caused significant population decline in the 6th century. The plague of Justinian reached Britain and contributed to widespread mortality and social upheaval. Question 94. Who were the Picts and what role did they play in British history? A. A Celtic tribe that resisted Roman invasion. B. Viking settlers who colonized parts of Britain. C. A parliamentary faction in the 17th century. D. Roman settlers in ancient Britain. Answer: A. A Celtic tribe that resisted Roman invasion. The Picts were a group of tribal people who lived in what is now Scotland during the late Iron Age and early medieval periods. Question 95. What was the outcome of the Battle of Bannockburn, and why is it significant? A. The English secured control over Scotland. B. The Scots won, significantly boosting Scottish independence efforts. C. It marked the end of the Viking Age in Britain. D. It led to the unification of England and Scotland. Answer: B. The Scots won, significantly boosting Scottish independence efforts. The Battle of Bannockburn in 1314 was a decisive victory for Robert the Bruce against the English, pivotal in the First War of Scottish Independence. Question 96. Describe the significance of the Chartist movement. A. It was a movement that sought to abolish the monarchy. B. It focused on granting charters to new cities. C. It was a working-class movement for political reforms, including voting rights. D. It was a religious movement seeking freedom of worship. Answer: C. It was a working-class movement for political reforms, including voting rights. The Chartist movement in the 19th century was significant for advocating democratic reforms, such as universal male suffrage. Question 97. What was the primary result of the Acts of Union 1800? A. It separated Ireland from Great Britain. B. It unified Great Britain and Ireland into the United Kingdom. C. It established the independence of the American colonies. D. It created the Commonwealth. Answer: B. It unified Great Britain and Ireland into the United Kingdom. The Acts of Union 1800 merged the Kingdom of Great Britain and the Kingdom of Ireland into a single entity, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Question 98. Who led the British Expeditionary Force in World War I? A. Douglas Haig. B. Bernard Montgomery. C. John French. D. Winston Churchill. Answer: C. John French. He was the commander of the British Expeditionary Force at the start of World War I. Question 99. What was the impact of the Corn Laws on 19th century British politics? A. They caused widespread famine. B. They led to the rise of the Labour Party. C. They caused political division and were a factor in the fall of the Tory government in 1846. D. They strengthened the monarchy. Answer: C. They caused political division and were a factor in the fall of the Tory government in 1846. The repeal of the Corn Laws marked a significant turning point in British economic policy and party politics. Question 100. Who was the first female Member of Parliament in the UK, and what was her contribution to British politics? A. Margaret Thatcher. She became the first female Prime Minister. B. Nancy Astor. She was the first woman to take her seat in the House of Commons. C. Theresa May. She played a significant role in Brexit negotiations. D. Barbara Castle. She was influential in labour and social security reforms. Answer. B. Nancy Astor. She was the first woman to take her seat in the House of Commons. Elected in 1919, Nancy Astor was a pioneer for women in British politics.